we are seeing this shift happen in the world. People from recent graduates, we've got some young people on the call today, to 9-to-5ers, to people that are working on a second climb. They're deciding that it's time for them to start living with purpose. And I think that this is because of two reasons. One, we are looking at people feeling a lack of clarity. It feels like there's so much going on. What do I do next? Do I decide to quit my job and start the next thing? This tragedy has just happened in the world. How do I respond personally? We're constantly bouncing around looking for clarity. And the second thing that I think is pushing this movement towards wanting to live with purpose is this feeling of a lack of fulfillment, right? For those who are 9-to-5ers, it might be, wow, like, is what I'm doing really mattering in life? Is what I'm doing really working towards some bigger goal? And so in this vacuum of clarity and fulfillment, I think people are looking to feel a sense of purpose in what they do. So this evening, we're going to talk about purpose. We're going to use curiosity as our guide to bring us through and figure out what our purpose is. And through all of that, help us find clarity and fulfillment once again. So we're going to start at that question mark point and hopefully get us to that clarity and fulfillment point. I'm guessing it won't be tonight. If it does, I've done a great job, let everybody know about us, like, props, but I think it'll take a little more time than just one evening. But we're going to get through this curiosity piece to find that clarity and fulfillment. So I'm an equations gal. Like Mom said, I studied economics and also design, which is a weird world. So I like to make equations that look like this. Which is, first up, purpose plus meaning equals clarity. So there's a strange alchemy that happens when you are able to take your life's purpose and apply it to the meaning that you're making in the world and get clarity. Imagine, we've had two recent tragedies happen in the world, Haiti, what's happening in Afghanistan. I think it's left us all with sort of an unease. What do we do next? But if we understand our purpose, if my purpose in life is to help understand all the possibility that's out there, and I can assign meaning to what's happening in the world, this bad thing has happened and I want to do something about it, I can get clarity. I can say, okay, my role is to now expose people to the wonders of what Afghanistan had, and or to let people know about how they can donate to Haiti, right? And then when we look at fulfillment, how do we get fulfillment? Again, a strange alchemy of what happens when we apply purpose to goals. All right. If we're just out there making goals, flying around, and we don't apply purpose, we either forget that we have to celebrate our goals every once in a while, or we start making goals like, I'm going to start journaling, and then we quickly forget that we even set that goal the day before, right? So really looking at this alchemy. So let's get into what these words mean. So purpose is your aspirational why. We've seen so many people over the course of writing Forever Widening Circles, so many people who have this central guiding sort of point within them, right? And it can be amorphous and blobby, or it can be very specific. You can say, I am going to be a yoga teacher and teach everyone yoga. Or it could be something different, like, I want to inspire people to see more possibility in the world. That's my amorphous and blobby one. And really, it is about what you are uniquely built to do. So I think a lot of the time we come to things and we're told by a lot of people what's wrong with us. And I don't want this to be about what's a webinar about what's wrong with us. Your purpose is what you are uniquely built to do. And so you come to this already having the skills and knowledge you need to get there. And the reason why we need purpose, as I mentioned, is because it guides your direction and it guides your decisions. We have seen people that have purpose, they're able to know where to invest their time and money. It's incredible. When you watch a business person who understands their purpose, you watch them know where to go next. It helps us understand our emotions and how we should respond to things, right? If I don't have purpose, I think about myself, right? When I was in college or younger and I hadn't discovered my purpose, something bad comes my way and it was chaos. It was drama. It was, oh my gosh, my life is ending. I'm never going to graduate. I'm all these emotions. And when we have our sense of purpose, our emotional responses, instead of being a boat that goes way up and way down, it bobs. It doesn't go up as far. And on that same note, it gives us a sense of a horizon, right? When chaos is all around us, when we are unsure, we're still able to sort of look at that horizon of our purpose and see where the landscape goes next. I think we can all think of those moments in which we kind of are able to see things better when we know what's ahead of us and we know what we're working towards. So then when purpose and meaning are applied together, we get clarity, right? So meaning is how we make sense of the world. Meaning is, again, how I understand tragedy, how I understand the bad things that happened in my childhood or the good things that happened in my childhood. And what we get from that is we're able to create takeaways from our experiences and have them build towards something, right? So instead of just me spending my afternoon, my last afternoons here in Vermont before I moved to another country, instead of just having them kind of float away, if I'm assigning meaning to them, I'm doing things more intentionally. I'm able to sort of make sure each foot is being put in front of the other. And I have clarity about, why I'm choosing to, spend the day cycling instead of packing and not feel bad about a decision that I've made. And like I said, as we assign meaning, whether that's good or bad, we can learn to treasure these moments and we can learn to learn from them. So if we're just letting moments pass us by and we're not making any meaning, we're not really giving ourselves any fuel to get clarity on the world around us. And I think a statement that really wraps that all up is this one here: managing the meaning of every experience determines who we become. If we just go through life passively, and I know there's times, so many times, it almost feels like there's years that I have not assigned meaning to anything, and it feels like those years are kind of lost, right? As we assign meaning to things, as we learn to treasure moments or learn from moments, we're capable of having all those moments add up to something else, something bigger, and give us, again, a sense of clarity if we're given purpose. And of course, goals. I think this is one I struggle with the most. I think probably raise our hands if you've ever started a goal and then not accomplished it, or gotten to a goal and then decided like, okay, well, that's great. And then I moved on, I never celebrated it. So goals can really become these mileposts that mean nothing unless we decide that we have a purpose and we can get fulfillment from our goals, right? We don't want to turn goals into anything empty. So the biggest thing that I've learned about goal setting and having purpose, I've learned from a thought leader named Mary Liz Bender, who we've worked with. And she has made it her life's purpose to take the wisdom of the astronauts, what they see when they come back, what they've seen up when they've seen, the Earth from space, and why they become incredibly empathetic people who become philanthropists and artists. They have this overwhelming feeling of empathy, and she's trying to cultivate that in other people. And she's not an astronaut. She's a former musician and coder who was homeless at one time. And as she was going, she just decided this was her life's purpose to teach people. And so every problem that she came up against, she had the courage to want to reach out to the highest people. She's now friends with all of the living astronauts. She was Bill Nye's assistant. I mean, this woman has, because she had the courage to have big goals, because she had purpose in life, she's able to attain them. And whenever she hit an obstacle, I loved what she said. She was on one of these workshops a while back, and she said, it's not, living with purpose isn't easy, but when you live with purpose, you're able to get to your goals because you're able to push through. So goals may push you forward, but it's really your purpose that pulls you to the finish line. And again, this goes back to, you have to assign purpose and meaning to your goals, or else they just kind of become mile markers of time. You're not learning from them. And I think we get fulfillment when we are able to apply purpose and goals together. So again, we're trying to get to fulfillment. We're trying to get to clarity. And this is sort of this, I call this the outward spiral. Sometimes at Ever-Widening Circle, we talk about the downward spiral that people get into. But the outward spiral of purpose, meaning, goals is that purpose helps you make meaning, which gives you clarity about your goals, which helps you fulfill your purpose, which helps you make meaning of the next moment, which helps you set your next goal, which helps you live with purpose. So it is this sort of this wheel, this, if you will, ever-widening circle, but we don't want to do too many puns here, that helps you get there. So again, if you like equations, here are the equations of purpose, meaning equals clarity, and purpose and goals equal fulfillment. So obviously there's a common denominator here in purpose. And I think that it's time to talk about how we get there. So